All right, let's talk about Dak Prescott. What happened with Dak Prescott? Why did Dak Prescott end up falling so far in the draft when he's clearly a really good player? He just, got a huge contract with Dallas. A lot of teams are regretting not drafting him at this point. So, what happened? Why were people so down on him? How did so many people miss Dak Prescott? Well, let's just get into what the evaluation said, and then we'll watch some tape and talk about, how much of that was true and maybe what people missed. So for the strengths, honestly, these strengths seem like a lot of really good strengths, right? You're going to see that they said that he flashes, like accuracy and good field vision, anticipation. He throws a very catchable ball and he can make all the throws. Good mobility. That's a lot of good stuff. Can pick up yards on the ground. And has pocket presence, and even some intangibles, which I kind of don't talk about too often, but we'll talk about him here. Great teammate, experienced against good competition, gritty player, whatever that means, and strong leadership skills. Again, no clue how people come up with this stuff, but I think it's probably pretty true. I don't know. That's just what the narrative is, at least. As for his weaknesses, they say that he had inconsistent accuracy and inconsistent field vision. So they kind of got both sides there, where he sometimes would flash it, but was too inconsistent. And really seemed like the big things were he needs to get faster with his eyes. He needs to learn working under center. Also, apparently that was like a huge part of why he fell, was because people said that he didn't work under center enough, which is crazy to me, but that's what they said. Needs development for a pro style offense. His stats were kind of college inflated, so it's more of a college offense, and that it won't, those plays won't be ran in the NFL, which I think those are all valid concerns if true, which I believe they are. So I find a lot of that stuff very interesting because some of that stuff, we know about Dak Prescott now. He does have a big arm. He is very accurate. So, maybe got rid of some of the inconsistency, and also we know he's a good athlete. So a lot of that stuff I just find fascinating, but I wanted to watch the tape, and honestly, one of the first plays I saw really just jumped out at me. It's this play. It's going to be a cover 3 zone blitz. This is a wild play, by the way, that Auburn is running, where they're going to have several defensive linemen drop back in the coverage. They're also blitzing like a bunch of people. Wild coverage, but really just watch the route over the middle. And I mean, just want you to watch Dak's throw. Prescott takes the snap, and he's gonna, there's pressure. He gets hit as he's thrown, gets folded right there, but still makes an incredibly accurate throw. So clearly, the inconsistent accuracy, well, when it was on, it was really on. That's a great play. Honestly, I think this kind of play might be a lot of where things went wrong for Prescott, just in terms of the evaluation. So it's going to be zone coverage. It's play action with a receiver running over the middle. So kind of a simple concept, but watch what Prescott does. So, he runs the play action, and he's going to try to help sell this by looking all the way to the top of the screen, which is smart. You don't want to look to where you're about to throw it to. You want to sort of make the place you're trying to throw it to more open, which that makes sense. Everything he's doing here is fine. The issue is he's just not quick enough at really getting back to where he wants to be facing. Watch how he never really gets his feet planted, kind of throws it a little awkwardly and is inconsistent. I think that's a big thing. I think it was kind of a lot of his accuracy tended to be stuff like that. When he has to move his feet, he's not able to get his feet totally planted. That was kind of an issue. And, he was able to sort of fix that, just because, of course, it's not a problem in the NFL. And now I want to talk about this play because, people sort of criticizing oh, he needs to, learn how to get faster with his eyes, needs to, make better decisions. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Dak Prescott's great at decision making. It kind of, raises some flags a little bit when you have a mixed race quarterback who now all of a sudden, me personally, I'm like, well, he's smart. What are you talking about? And then you see people saying that he isn't. But actually, when you watch tape, it's not that. He legitimately just would make some dumb decisions. That's just legitimately what would happen. On this one, the pre-snap read is the correct one, right? It's this cover 1 man blitz. You have a receiver running a go route. Sure, makes sense. And once this play starts, you notice that. So really at this point, what Prescott should probably do, given how far away the safety is just lob this one up, let your receiver go get it. And if he doesn't get it, well, then it falls incomplete. But you could get a big gain here. And if not, it's not the end of the world. It's actually, basically the same situation. But instead, watch, he's going to go with a back shoulder throw, which I just don't fully understand why he would do this. Because watch, this ends up being a very easy interception, and I just don't get that decision whatsoever. It wasn't the best, ran by the receiver, but he got past him. So if Prescott just throws it deep, that it could be a big play. So he made some rough decisions like that, which I think is part of the issue. There's also one more thing I just have to talk about. It's something that I've talked about a lot when doing these things with quarterbacks, is that it seems like one of the real undervalued things when talking about quarterbacks is pocket presence. Pocket presence can make or break a quarterback sometimes, and it can turn a mediocre quarterback into a great quarterback just by having good pocket presence. And I think people need to really pay attention to that more. And Prescott is a guy who you can see some really good pocket presence, and that translated to the NFL. Like a play like this. So the guard's supposed to pull over and block that edge rusher, even though this is going to be a passing play. They're trying to sell the play action a little bit by doing that. So that's how it's going to work. But the problem is that the edge guy is going to get up, go a little bit quicker. But watch what Prescott does. Watch, pressure, but Prescott steps up in the pocket and is able to twist his body and throw the ball away. That's just a throwaway. It's nothing that's going to blow your mind, but that's a very good play, really, with the pocket presence. I think that's honestly a huge reason why he was a lot better than people realized, was just the pocket presence. And it was, he had a little bit of footwork issues that he had to work on, but it kind of goes to show, hey, especially when it comes to mid-round picks, drafting a guy who, has some flaws, but also has a lot of potential, it can be a good thing. I mean, if we want to try and talk about who potentially could be that person, honestly, it could be like a Kyle Trask, who I said I wouldn't even draft because it would be very different. But the reason why I say Kyle Trask is just because he would have to completely rework his throwing motion, but he at least has the raw tools. So there's maybe something there. Actually, that's not a great example. I don't know why I went with him. Kellen Mond has gotten talked about. I think Kellen Mond just good. I don't think he really falls into this category. Maybe like a Felipe Franks, who is someone who you watch his highlights. They can be very good. He just needs to kind of put it all together. He might be the guy. The reality is there usually isn't a Dak Prescott in most drafts. So that's kind of why it's difficult. You can't really always see that. But I do think that Dak Prescott is a very interesting prospect. And I think that there was some real talent there. And it's why, hey, sometimes it's worth it to draft a guy in a late round who you think could be good. I think it makes sense to draft Kellen Mond in the second round, even if you have another player you like, because I think it's worth the risk. Again, if you can get a franchise quarterback, it doesn't matter the price you paid. It's probably going to be worth it. And that's the case with Dallas for sure. Also, fun fact, obviously we know that Jared Goff and Carson Wentz were selected before Prescott, but so was Paxton Lynch, Christian Hackenberg, Jacoby Brissett, who, Brissett was okay, but then Cody Kessler and Connor Cook also selected before Prescott. Really goes to show how down on Prescott some people were. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.